Ad Victoriam. Hey there. You have a second? I was hoping to talk to you about something. I'm Solomon Hardy. I'm a doctor and initiate with the Brotherhood of Steel. I've got a proposition for you. Please, just Solomon is fine. Because I might just blast back. I'm sorry. I think we got off on the wrong foot here. Let me explain. No, I'm afraid not. There isn't much money to be made in my profession anymore. See, I signed up with the Brotherhood for a chance to help people across the country. But now that we're stationed in Atlas Observatory, my ability to reach patients has been limited. I'm looking for a safe and relatively clean place to store supplies and catch my breath while on the road. If you're willing to let me spend time here, I can offer surplus supplies and some medical services for as low a cost as I can afford. I suppose so. It's just the right thing to do. I've got the training, and people need my help. I appreciate the sentiment, though. Believe me, I wish I could just give it all away, but I need to be able to buy more supplies myself. At the prices I can offer, I'm already at risk for paying out of pocket. You could, sure. Wouldn't be my first time fending off a would-be bandit, though. You'd also have the whole Brotherhood knocking your door down. I, wouldn't recommend that. Well, I don't really have much proof, but I'm not really asking for a handout or anything. Hopefully my services can speak for themselves. I just need a small spot for myself. I'll stay out of your way, and I'll be around if you need any assistance. Do we have a deal? Thank you. This will give me the chance to help a lot of people. I really appreciate it. Listen, I can leave if you want, but I'm doing this for the people out there that need my help. If this ends up being too much of a problem, let me know. Until then, I hope you can see some value in what I offer. Sure. I don't know if I'm a model member, but I can try and fill you in as much as I can. It's the least I can do. As a community, I think they're fine company. As a team, I don't think I've ever felt safer. What? You mean like their ideals and methods? There's some elements I can wholeheartedly get behind, that's for sure. Teamwork, structure, discipline. Just like my army days. There's some other elements that worry me, if I'm being honest. I'm comfortable with how this group here thinks, but, well, from the literature I've gotten my hands on, it seems like things are run a little differently in California. I think the metaphorical chain of command is getting awfully taut, if you catch my meaning. Now, I only know what I've read. Initiates like me have never actually been a part of the California Brotherhood. We were picked up along the way. But from what I gather, there's a lot more talk about hoarding technology than helping folk. How did that holotape put it? Help protect people from themselves? Something like that. I can appreciate where they're coming from, but my obligations are to help people by, well, helping people. Mutiny? Well, don't be putting words in my mouth. I don't think it's that serious, but I do think the folk out here take good advantage of the autonomy that the distance provides. Well, that. I don't have a lot of thoughts to share on that. Or at least, I'm cautious about sharing what thoughts I do have. I just know this. I joined this group because it was the best way I could help people across the country. Taking away a few plasma rifles here and there. I can sleep at night if that's the cost. Anytime. Just, don't make me regret sharing what I did. Not everyone is as keen on discussing the way things are done. Knowing the people around you have your back means everything these days. I don't think a single member of the Brotherhood would disagree with me on that. Ideology aside. Sure thing. I had spent the last 2 decades wandering to every burnt-out settlement and smoking crater in the ground I could find. The world was in need of healing, and I had the skills to do it. But I could only do so much alone. I'd hear about a community with some sick kids, or someone with a chronic illness. If I went to help, I would be turned away. They didn't want to risk letting some stranger into their mix. And I don't blame them, really. It's a rough world out there. But when I saw the Brotherhood roll in, people could not turn them away. Reminded me of my time in the army. Where we went, there was a sense of safety, security. I wanted to take advantage of that. Help people on the road. Sure enough, they led me to plenty of people in need. Fine by me. What else did you need? Want to get personal? That's fine. That's fine. I'm not paying rent after all. Okay. Couldn't hurt to answer a few questions. Ask away. My family goes back generations in Detroit, but my path has led me all over. I can thank the Army for that one. When the bombs hit, I was about a year from getting my MD at a university well away from home. I traveled all around after that, before bumping into Paladin Romani's group, that is. Well, if you're asking if I was able to get a piece of paper and a title before the world turned sideways, nuh-uh. Time wasn't on my side there. But the world has changed a lot since then, and you could fill a library with the sort of nonsense ailments that our wonderful wasteland can produce. So am I a doctor? No. But am I a doctor? You better believe it. Oh? Like what? Truth is, I come from a long line of doctors. But growing up, it never stuck. Lost interest in school. Couldn't make the grades. The Army felt like a place I could make a difference, so I enlisted right out of high school. Well, not the way I would have guessed. First time in active combat, me and a few guys from my unit got separated from the group. Artillery fire brought a whole cliffside down between us and our base. Well, hold on. That's not the whole story. First time in active combat, me and a few guys from my unit got separated from the group. Artillery fire brought a whole cliffside down between us and our base. About 20 minutes later, when I found myself stitching up our medic, the calling finally caught up to me. Maybe it was in my blood, maybe saving lives just felt more rewarding than taking them, but that experience changed things for me. I don't see myself that way. Nothing so grand. Well, I wouldn't go that far. Having 2 doctors as parents will teach you a few of the basics. It's not like I performed open heart surgery on the spot. A piece of shrapnel hit her in the thigh. It was causing heavy blood loss. But my medic survived. I flew out to the capital to get a few medals pinned on my chest, and then my CO pushed for me to be enrolled in OCS. Spent a few years on the track to an MD when a certain apocalyptic occurrence brought it to a premature end. Thanks for listening. Doesn't make much of a difference to me, to be honest. But next time you're bleeding out from the ears from some swamp fungus, I just might charge extra. Of course. Just tell me where it hurts. That little scratch? I wouldn't waste your caps treating it. Come back when I can see out the other side. Yep, you're dying all right. I can piece you back together. I just need to charge for cost value. What do you say? Hold still. This might sting a little. And, okay. You'll survive. Anything else? You seem fine to me. Drink more water, try and get a good night's sleep. Sure, I can bring those levels down if you want. Fair warning, unless you've got some extra resilient DNA, you're likely to lose any mutations you have. If you start to feel lightheaded, that means it's working. And great. Clean as a whistle. Well, closer to it, anyway. What else did you need? You seem fine to me. Drink more water, try and get a good night's sleep. Sure thing. How's the wasteland treating you? It's good to have a place to rest for a bit. Long trips on the road really take their toll. Sorry. I just reminded myself of toll roads. Ugh. I can't even begin to describe how rewarding it is to help those in need, but I feel like the war really robbed me of the chance to leave the office early and play golf. Feeling lightheaded? Think you've got the chills? Arm hanging on by a thread? Well, I can help with most of that. Treating a sick patient is already immensely challenging, but these mutations amplify every issue. How do I treat a sprained goat leg? Is it supposed to bend that way? Sorry, did you need me for something? I'd remind you to wash your hands, but, you're likely to catch something worse from the sinks these days. Here to restock or just a checkup? A healthy dose of conversation is nice, too. Would you mind if I tried out a few experimental stim pack mixes on you? Never mind. So, did you need something? Paging Dr. Hardy, eh? Well, I don't have a medical degree, so that joke falls flat. How can I help? Before you ask, no, I don't have any lollipops. The Brotherhood can be a little intense to be around all day. Enjoying the solitude out here keeps me balanced. The doctor is in. Sorry,